Hey everybody, welcome inside Wisdom Gaming Studios here with TWolves Gaming. Legend, do you want to go with BearDaBeast? And I'm sure that my audience is wondering why I am here interviewing a 2K gamer, but the reason is because the Minnesota Vikings drafted Khyree Jackson out of Oregon. And Khyree Jackson had a choice in his life of whether to play football or to become a professional 2K gamer. He chose football. Now he's with the Vikings. I think he made the right choice, but that really got me thinking as a fan of video games, what would it have been like if Khyree Jackson had instead chased the video game career? So I found a guy who has a video game career in 2K. Bear, thanks for doing this, man. I really appreciate it. And I would love to just hear you talk about your career to start off, and then we can talk about how you got here. But the day-to-day basis of being a professional gamer, what is that like?
Shout out Khyree because he's a really good guy. I had a few conversations with him.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome.
He's a really good dude. But it's kind of just like any other profession or any other job, any other career. We put in a lot of time, a lot of hours. I wouldn't say it's so much 9 to 5 because we play video games. So in season, we're more like a 11 to 5, and then we go home from 7 till whenever we can get some sleep in. So it's a lot of time, a lot of hours. We enjoy what we do, so it makes it a lot easier to put the time in. But for the most part, man, if you just think of NBA structure and not so much what it takes physically, but the time that these guys, the athletes, have to put in. If you think of my world consists of trades and sponsorships, and the whole thing is just kind of it's NBA but virtual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, that makes sense. I mean, what is a practice like for you? I mean, how do you go about in staying sharp, improving your game, building chemistry with your teammates? Like, what is the process like for that?
So I played football growing up, and I was absolutely terrible. I was horrible. I was absolutely bad. So I was.
Well, you got length. I mean, could you at least be a wide receiver or something? Can you not catch the ball?
I was on scout team 100% of the time. That was me. I was scout team dummy. They put me out there to go get banged up by the starting defense. That was me. We come in and instead of a scout team, we just scrimmages other professional teams. So we might play the Lakers, might play Philadelphia 76ers, Cleveland Cavaliers. So we play these other teams all day long. We scrimmage them. So it's 5 of us on a team. Us 5 are controlling 5 players on a video game, and they have 5, and they're controlling 5 players on a video game. 10 people playing at one time. We run plays, we have strategies, and we pretty much do that all day long. We break down film. We find out players' tendencies to try to get better. This is so much to it to break down.
So I want to go back to when you started on this path. I mean, first, I imagine, I won't reveal your age because you're the older guy in the team, but
Thank you.
You probably started out when there was no such thing as a career in gaming, or not even an imagination that there could be
Correct.
a career in gaming. So at what point did you discover that, hey, this is actually a possibility? This is something that I could really chase and pursue?
So probably similar to Khyree was you just grow up and you have a gaming system and we're outside, you're playing sports all the time, street lights come on, you go in the house, you're bored, start playing a video game. Then you start to realize that, hey, I'm pretty good at this, and you start beating all your friends in the neighborhood, and then you start, rivaling other neighborhoods, and they're bringing their best player, you're beating them, and then it goes to a thing of like, all right, who's the best guy in the city? Let's start bringing the neighboring cities around. Let's start playing them, and you set up some games and you play for, $20, $50, $100, whatever the case may be. And you start to realize that you're pretty good, and you start going to these GameStop tournaments. I actually started out playing Madden first, and when I really figured out that I was really, really good is I about made the Madden bus. I was one game away from a Madden bus. I was running the clock out. Instead of kneeling the ball, I ran the ball, fumble, scoop and score in 6. And I should have just kneeled it, but I was one game off the Madden bus, and this was like 12 or 13. And from that point on, I was like, I'm pretty good at video games. But like I said, there was no career in it. And as the years went along, around 16, 17, 2K came out with a big tournament, 250,000. And my team finished 4th. And that was with just my point guard from college, my actual brother, my actual cousin, and a guy we just found off a line. And the other teams was playing with the best guy from Texas, the best guy from Florida. So I'm like, if I go do that, I got a really good chance to be successful. So that's kind of where it started at.
Now, I thought that Madden players are supposed to be great at game management. You not kneeling the ball down, and I don't really understand your thought process there.
It was horrible. It was horrible. Just in the moment, I don't know why. I could have just took my kneel and I'd have been on the bus. And one of the worst decisions of my life.
Well, that's how it goes. So as you're discovering that you're good at this, what makes you good at this? Like what, I mean, because we were talking before this about just how I played video games growing up, and I was pretty nasty at NBA Jam. I was pretty good at 007, you know, first person shooter less so than the sports games, but I could hack Madden pretty good when they came out with 64 versions and so forth. I would never think that I was actually great at it, though. Like, oh, I can win games on all Madden or beat my friends or whatever little friendly tournament we would have, but I didn't think I was actually great at it. So what type of skills do you have that separates you from every average person like me just playing away in my basement?
So I will stick to the 2K side because I was pretty good at Madden, but 2K side. So I actually had a real life basket. So I played college for 4 years. I graduated, but played college for 4 years. Played college ball 4 years, and that from this field where I'm at now, that gives me a competitive advantage because I actually understand flare screens and bumping on the down screen and when to switch, when to soft hedge, hard hedge. I'm used to running plays. I'm used to the concept of actual basketball. So one thing we get to do is with our team is a lot different than other teams. We actually convert real life into 2K mechanics, which is different because everything doesn't work exactly the same, but we implement 80-70% of real life into a video game. So
you get on a real court with this?
Not this, but I did before.
Oh, you did?
College.
Okay.
In college.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm washed up now. I'm all the way washed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to see me go hoop in real life now. I'm terrible. So, but we bring some of those same TWolves plays, horn sets, 1-4 low, 5 out, what Boston is running now. So we different concepts, and we bring them into real 2K. And then for me, just being a natural competitor, I probably go over the top with preparation. As far I can show you, man, I got notebooks. Like notebooks and tendencies of players and the tendencies of him bouncing the ball twice to the right, and then he wants to get back left, or this is his hot spot, or this is where he likes to shoot. He tends to go 80% more to this right wing. Just I nerd that type of stuff out, and then the amount of time I put in is ridiculous. So we put way too much time into it, and that's going to help you be good. So if you add the brain with the actual plan of the game, it's a good combination.
But all of this sounds like, as we relate it to Khyree Jackson, stuff that an athlete would have built into them. So probably his love for football, his ability with football would have played into him doing these things. What separates so obviously what separates you from me is everything you just said. But what separates, so he was talking about being in like the top 250. But to be at this level, the absolute top level, to win a championship as you did, to be MVP as you did, what is the difference between someone who's good and great?
So I would say just the mental behind it of understanding the nuances of the game and the amount of time and preparation that you can put into it. So if you could put the time and the preparation into it, and then you have the mental to understand what goes on within the game, and for him to make it to that level, who's to say he couldn't make it to the NBA 2K League? When you got that competitive fire, and the difference is he's an athlete. You know, I'm nowhere near the athlete of that. But if he could put the time in, and the level that he's playing at, and the concept that he's already learned on a football field, we're not going to be running any more complex than a D1 team is running at an NBA 2K professional level. So mentally he's probably got it, and work ethic he's probably got it. So that's he might be right there with us.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there are so many things that cross over. And when you're talking about that preparation, I mean, that's everything in football, is that there are a lot of great athletes in the world, but the guys who understand the game the best are the ones who get that little bit of an edge. And if he already has that mentality to make the NFL, then he may have been able to take it a step farther.
Correct.
So explain to me what game day is like for you, because I mean, I know what it's like for NFL players, but what is that like for you? What is the game like? Just to, like, take me inside of that.
We want to mimic those guys as much as possible. We're playing the music, we're hyping each other up, we're doing the push-ups, and we're not about to go be physical at all. So we're doing the push-ups before the game. we got the loud music going. We're hyped because it's something we're passionate about. So we come in and we come to practice. It's a high vibe day right here. It's a good vibe day. It's game day, so we're watching our film. We're going over who the guys we're about to play, and then we get the vibes going. We got the music going. We got the push-ups going. The guys are rallying around the who and the hi, and we're doing that. But we're about to go play a video game. But the passion and the love is so high that energy has got to be released. So very, very, very similar. It's just we're not about to go knock somebody's helmet off.
Right. What do you make of the way that this industry has kind of come together and just where it stands now? To have a league like this is, again, I mean, it's just something I couldn't have even dreamed of, but I think is really, really cool. And when you go to your YouTube page or you go to just, streamers and things like that and the careers that are being created in this, I guess, what do you make of where things stand now with gaming?
I never thought it would get to this point. I couldn't see a world to where people are influencers and content creators and your whole job is Twitch and YouTube. I probably make just as much on my 2K salary off season than I do in season from content creation. And I never thought it'd become this thing of showing people how to play a video game where you're entertaining to play a video game. I didn't know it'd be a professional league. So this is, I mean, from us growing up and the way kids are growing up now, it's a lot different. So it's probably we're used to seeing kids outside doing whatever, and now they're more inside and they're playing video games. Like this is what's hot. This is like each generation is different, and right now the video game wave, it's got a good chance to. It's some video games right now that like perceive viewings of the Super Bowl. Their championship perceive viewings of the Super Bowl. So like, gaming is huge, and I think it's here to stay, and I hope with my league it continues to get bigger so I can get paid more.
Well, what I do like about your story, though, is that most the video game tropes are sort of like, oh, this guy's in his basement or whatever, which actually is where my video games are set up. So that is true. But the fact that you are a former athlete, it's like you don't have to do just one thing. You
right.
know, that sort of story. And I think that Khyree and you are both evidence of that. If you were to play an average person, what would that look like? Like if we dialed it up here in this studio, how bad would that be for me?
Yeah, it'd look like me trying to go catch a pass on Khyree right now. it's just he's a pro, he's a professional. I do it all the time, and that's a part of the content that I get to sell is I go play the average Joes, the average people of the world, and I do it all the time on my Twitch. And it's, let's say, about halfway through the second quarter, the pros we're pretty bored. If we're going 4 quarters, we're pretty bored because halfway through the second quarter, we're probably up 20, 30, 40 points. And if we kept that pace up, we're going to win every game by 100. It's what we do for a living. It's different, and people don't understand it. When you do it for a living, it's different. And y'all can have plenty of time to. I got my 5 a lot. We can play whenever y'all want to play. My off season is about 2 months from now. It ends about. I think we end around June, late June. So from when new 2K dropped, my 5 is ready to play. We're ready to hoop against anybody. So there's a chance for them to play. But yeah, it could get bad.
Yeah, well, I just enjoy when there are people on social media that say about NFL players, like, oh, I could get out there and I could get a couple yards against those guys. Like, nope, you'd be dead. Yeah. So at least you're just emotionally dead if they play you as opposed to physically playing against Khyree Jackson. I wanted to ask you, just for my own curiosity, about your first Madden game and what got you excited about Madden, because people who listen to the show know that I make Madden comparisons to the real NFL all the time because I've played it since childhood.
Yeah.
I've gotten actually quite bad at the most recent games because I feel like they're too complicated, right? From some of the old games, from the NFL Blitz and so forth, where you're just dropping back and passing. But what was your first, what did you love about playing Madden?
I want to say the first ones was kind of 99, 2000. I think that was some of the first Maddens I played, but just in the house at the time, we got the PlayStation. PlayStation knew it was around the time. My older brother and all his friends would come over, and that was the hot thing to do, was play the PlayStation like that. So as me being a younger brother, I'm like, yo, my big brothers are playing. That's what the guys are playing. That's what's cool to do. So I just wanted to hop on and play the game, and they would absolutely destroy me. And then around 11, about 10 to about 2010, I didn't lose to those guys. I didn't lose to them anymore. But that I got hot, really hot amongst the world in like 2012, 2013.
So were you a pass first guy, run first guy?
Yeah, I was. As soon as they come out, I could tell if you're in a cover 3. I could tell if you're blitzing. I could tell if you're in a cover 2. I'm flood concept the whole game. I'm sending too many people to one side that you don't have in your zone. If it's man, we're sending crossing routes. If you don't got enough in the box, I'm running. So understanding the concepts is where I excelled at, and so understanding the game, I can't do any of that in real life. But I was more of a I'm a pass. I'm a pass all game long, and then if you make me run, I'm gonna take this 4 or 5 yards every time.
For me, 4 verticals, running back comes out underneath that everybody chases, and then that guy's wide open underneath. I mean, if I'm playing with Marshall Faulk or something back in the day, I mean, I'm getting 200 catches in a season with Marshall Faulk coming underneath on that play. So, last thing for you. How about this? I'm sure that Khyree has not given up gaming. I'm sure he's still doing it. I'm sure he's still extremely good at 2K.
Yeah.
What's your advice for him? I mean, because he's going to have time. He's going to be studying the playbook. But if you think that everyone has to be studying their playbook for 100% of their life, you're wrong. Don't make fun of Kyler Murray in his video games. Please stop doing that. But if you're going to give him some advice, if he says, hey, man, help me get even better than I am, what would you say?
Shout out K1. K1 a good dude, too. He loves 2K. And K1 is Kyler Murray is a dog at 2K.
Oh, yeah? He's legit?
I haven't hooped with Kyrie. I've hooped with Coller a lot. I think he could be in the league hands down.
Oh, really?
Like, not even, like, if I had to put money up, I would bet money that if he, and this is just the time off from him, he's smart. You could tell that he's smart. You could tell this dude does something else, and he understands. He could read, like, it's fun to watch him because I'm a fan of his game, and then when I watch him play the video game, I'm like, I know he be picking dudes apart on Sunday. I know he picked dudes apart on Sunday because he do it in 2K. He's sharp, man. He's smart. But shout out K1. But Khyree gonna play the game anyway. He's a gamer, so like it's those guys, Khyree, Kyler Murray. Once they're gonna go, they're gonna do their work. They're gonna do what they're supposed to do on the field, and then they got downtime. They gonna do what they enjoy, the same way everybody else do what they enjoy. It just looks different, but he's a gamer. He's gonna play the game, so continue to play the game. Don't let nobody knock you from playing the game.
BearDaBeast, and that is your YouTube, right? As well,
everything across the board: YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, everything.
Well, Bear, it was really great to meet you. Thank you so much to you guys here for letting me come by, and I feel like it was a pretty random request to come by and talk about a football player, but great job breaking it all down. So thank you so much for doing this. It was great to meet you.
No, I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank y'all for tuning in, and it was good meeting you.
Yeah, good
we
to meet you too.
definitely could do it again.